Okay, hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Occult Cat TV. So, I'm your host, O'Shea. As well, you can call me Atanu, for this is my magical name. Occult Cat TV, the channel you know, you love. So, this is where it's at, you guys. Today is going to be the video on my, wow, my spiritual awakening journey. So, let's get into the video. Along the path of my spiritual awakening, I first started, I want to say unconsciously. I definitely woke up in 2012. That was definitely a very significant year. I used to, I'm a movie buff. I love movies, you guys. Um, Also, what's up, you guys? My name's O'Shea. So I love movies. I love anime. I love video games. Looking back, I can heavily see all of these very relevant. Just 2012, the movie, I highly resonated with. Even the scene when they were putting the rich people on boats as the world flooded. Now, the world didn't flood, but that was a really good symbolism for understanding, in a sense, what was happening at that time. So that's actually what triggered the collective shift. And actually, if we're looking at an African calendar, it wasn't until about 2015 to 18, 5 years after, so like 17, 15 to 18, around there, that's when the African calendar actually is. So I noticed that more things started to happen in 2015 to 18, waking everybody up collectively, to the point now everybody's even switching to Yeshua. Everyone's switching to Jesus. They're either going into the occult to understand witchcraft and magic, or they're going away from the church, and that's what they split it into, is the Sephirothic path or the Cliffothic path. And a lot of people are just going to Yeshua. They're just going to Jesus, the Christ. Now, as people are starting to go these different ways, this is actually what's creating this collective polarities. We're all being pulled in the path of where we are meant to be. We're being magnetized along this journey. So it was about 2015. This is when I graduated high school. So in the same way, 2 years after, wow, literally exactly when the shift happened, this is when I went through a near death myself, you guys. And I'll go more in depth on all of this on the Patreon, but to at least give my journey on my spiritual awakening, of my spiritual awakening. It was as I was walking this path that I was always someone that was trying to just know. I used to be anxious. Honestly, I remember every day in high school, I would want to wake up. I just would want to self-delete. I would want to not be here anymore. And I didn't know why. Truly, I did. I thought everybody, like truly, I remember thinking these thoughts. Why does everyone deal with this much suffering? Like, I don't remember the word, it's me saying suffering, but does everyone deal with this much pain? It's like every day I was trying to harm myself. And I don't know, like, I didn't know why I was trying to do this. And now the thing is, a lot of energies were definitely sent my way. I was a kid that was very vibrant, very glowing. I just so happened to, as well, I came from a Montessori school. So they teach you a lot different than public. So I had a lot of wisdom, I had a lot of light. And now when I got to high school, or middle school into high school, I noticed all of this light being stripped away by other people around me, by what was happening to me. And not to be a victim, but that's truly how I felt. I felt like a victim, the beginning of all of this. I didn't know that this was a journey. I didn't know that my soul was being called to this and going through all of this. Now, as I started to go through this path, as I started to go through this journey, as I started to wake up within myself, it was this suffering. Why I was suffering so much. was so that I could wake up. Was so that I could wake up from this dream, from this Maya and this illusion. The suffering is that force to push you forward in your ascension, that force to evolve you. I was meant to transgress my reality, to bend this world to my will. I wasn't meant to be a slave, but yet I was a slave to this world because I was a slave to my mind. I mean, back at this time in high school, I was jerking off, right? So no semen retention. I was jerking off, so wasting energy. I was playing video games all the time, wasting energy. I didn't eat healthy, so I never had any energy. My grandmother passed away the same year that I graduated. I remember not eating for days. I slept on the couch. I was traumatized. I was going through so much that I couldn't deal with, that I couldn't handle. I didn't understand. Now, I didn't let it get to me. I always had a good time. I had a good group of friends. I loved life. Truly, I loved life so much. But it's in the same way that how I was feeling was completely different. And there would be days where I'd see the most beautiful sunset and I couldn't feel. I just felt numb. I felt numb for so long. And it's because I let this world strip away and take away my light. Now I'll continue the story in just a moment. This is the arc of my growth, of my rebirth. It was a huge arc, and that's why I will have the rest on the Patreon, which is down below. One moment, let me just drink this water. Guys, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Now, as I was going through this spiritual awakening, as I was going through this journey, I remember right after graduating, me and my friends, so I was getting into meditation. I learned kind of breath work from a psychologist. Out of nowhere, I was just able to, because I had insurance from my adoption and stuff like that, my parents were able to get a really good psychologist. He was Harvard level. I found out a lot about my own internal nihilism. I had a mass amount of nihilism. I was heavily atheist at this point of my life. I didn't believe in anything. I would say Hail Satan all the time. So the way that I acted, I was my own God. A part of me knew that I was my own God. I could do whatever I wanted. I knew this was an illusion. Playing video games a lot definitely takes you out of that. People make you care about things that you really don't give a fuck about. So I'm grateful for that whole journey of awakening, because it taught me to step into my power. It taught me to step into my purpose. It showed me truly who I was becoming, and what I could achieve. Because it was at these moments that, so looking back, I want to say I probably went through my near death at the exact age of 18. That was about 2016, 2017. That's when I had my near death. So I was meditating, already practicing shamanism, I believe channeling a little bit. And because when I left school, I believe this was the same year that I started to experiment with different drugs as well. So I definitely wasn't going the right path. I was doing things to raise my energy, raise my kundalini, but then it sent me into hell because I started to do drugs. This is when, and I was doing more ecstasy, so I was definitely fucking with my dopamine levels. And I was but I was very calculated about the things I did. I was more of a scientist when it came to these shamanic substances. When I got a substance, it was more to embrace the experience, at least in the beginning, than the substance. At some time, at some point I then fell to myself. Most definitely, I was getting lost in my own sauce. So, but that was more after my near death. So I remember it's at some point I was with my friends and we were at the beach, and I was trying to do this, and I'll just sum it up because I'm going to go more in depth on the Patreon, the whole, like, because there's so much to this. But when I look back, me and my friends were on acid. I tried to do this Luigi move. We were at the beach. It was it was a beautiful day. All these amazing things, these wonderful things were happening. I was with people that I loved, and it was weird. Cause I knew I was with my twin flame, and I knew that this was a twin flame or a soul lover because it was just a feeling. That's what it was. I met her at a rave on Valentine's Day, and myself being Atanu, Eros energies, the energies of divine love, meeting her on Valentine's Day was very synchronistic. So this is another part. This is where literally we're always led where we're meant to be to meet these people, and we're just it's magnetism. We can't, like, you can't expect when you're gonna meet someone you love or someone that's a soulmate or a cosmic best friend, a brother, right, a sister, these people that we will meet along our journey and way to know that they are a part of the path. Out of all people, the moment she left, then I decide to do this it's like a Luigi move in Super Smash Bros. You know, when Luigi wins, he does that. Yeah, I did that, and then I died. I killed myself. I literally killed myself. And the thing is, I remember throughout all of high school, I always said all the time, because of my own depression or this energy that was always looming, that it was like it was something trying to get me to kill myself. And this is where I believe gang stalking energy is, because I was a being of immense knowing that I was on a path, and these energies were sent my way to unalign myself and lead me to my death scene. So now, if I would have died in just those moments, I truly don't know what would have happened. But now the thing is, as I smacked my jaw into the ground, and it was on concrete, I died. And in those moments, I blacked out. I didn't know what reality was. I come back to, I'm just in pain, my jaw. And that's why I also talk about my jaw sometimes. My jaw was literally not broken. It was still intact, but it was painful. It was actually a lot of pain that even to this day I'm still dealing with. I'm still healing the trauma from that. Because we're healing the trauma, not exactly the physical aspect, but the trauma. Now, if you ask the deities, if you ask myself, why did this happen? Old me could not tell you. If you ask the deities, I needed that to wake me the fuck up. I had to wake up. There's something that I needed to know, and death was the only option. Death was the only way out. I wasn't heading towards the path of my true will and my purpose. And this is why, if you're not, it's almost like life was saying, hey, if you're not going to follow your path, why are you here? You might have gone, deleted, see ya, bye, right? And it's in that same way that I was given a chance to resurrect, to rebirth myself in the sacred flame. And as I went through the underworld, this is where I started to go through the path of my purification and my journey. In the beginning, I just started with Om meditations and mantras and wanting to die to my ego, to the point that I did die to my ego. And I did it through many different ways, through meditation, through substance abuse in my younger years. There's a brief time of, I think it was like 6 to 9 months, where I just randomly started doing a lot of coke and or other substances. And like ecstasy, I was truly, this is when I was in hell. And it's people can literally attach to these illusions and attach to this feeling and almost stay in that suffering and stay in that hell. And because it was very sinister. I felt very sinister when I was doing these substances. I felt very dark, right? That I was meeting with the devils when I was doing it, and I didn't realize that until later on. Even looking back, Satan was always in my journey. I had a friend that did a lot of meth. I didn't do meth. I tried heroin one time, but I didn't do meth. Oh no, I did one time. I tried it. One time I didn't even feel it, right? My mom also did drugs. My mom did meth. And so I was like a meth kid, but I don't think she did meth while I was in her womb. So the reason why I'm telling you guys all this, or to go to the Satan thing really fast, this friend would literally talk about Satan nonstop. This friend that did. Okay, camera died out. But this friend would talk about Satan nonstop. This is early high school. He was already someone going through the underworld. I was someone being initiated into the underworld, especially through a sexual encounter with a Lilith feminine force. This just so happened to also be a past life soul connection that's what brought us back together in this life, and it just so happened to be lived out in high school. I believe this woman was in one of my Egyptian past lives. She was a lover. We even had a kid together, and then this life we played out that scenario. And there's a few lovers that I had along the way, in that same way that when we dated, when I date, I'm always someone. It's usually years, like when I'm connected to someone, and I only date people I have connections with. So I guess that's just an intro to who I am, you guys, and just some of the path that I've walked. So I am here as a guide through the occult, through this initiatory process, and as well journey through ascension, awakening, understanding the left-hand path, the occult, working with daemons, devils, deities, dragons. So if you guys would like to book a consultation, feel free to book a consultation today. Everything is going to be down below. Feel free to DM me on Instagram if you have any questions about my services, what I provide, as well as feel free to email me at occultcattv@gmail.com. Again, that is occultcattv@gmail.com. And I also do magic mentorships as well as clifothic mentorships. So other than that, that's going to be this video. That's just, I guess, part one to the external source of, who I am. My name, again, is O'Shea, you guys. As well, you can call me Atanu, for that is my daemon. That's what I uncovered through going through hell, through dying, is this powerful aspect of myself that we all have within. That the daemon is that inner deity and force that we are awakening as we embrace the path of our true will. It's in the same way that the Eleusinian the Eleusinian mysteries the Greeks talked about the daemon and awakening the daemon through the Eleusinian mysteries and mystery system. It's in the same way that those of us going through initiation, through the spiritual awakening, we are discovering and finding ourselves. We're finding the deity within. So other than that, you guys, that's going to wrap up the video. My name, again, is O'Shea. As well, you can call me Atanu, for that is my magical name. And this is Occult Cat TV, the channel you know you love. So all my services are going to be down below. Book a consultation today. Other than that, I will also be having a video on the Eleusinian mysteries and more in-depth. Let me know if you guys want, do you guys want more in-depth philosophical psychology, things such as the Eleusinian mysteries, Thelema, understanding magic, and things of this nature? Or do you guys like when I just more talk about my personal experiences? Let me know down below. Either way, I'm just wanting to know. With that, you guys have a beautiful day. Peace, and as well, namaste. Namaste, family.